Hi friends, Walesa here from Alay Refurbish. Welcome to this week's furniture makeover. You've been loving the bare wood makeovers lately. I don't think you're gonna be disappointed today. Stay with me until the end. Here we have a Drexel brand mid-century modern dresser. And I actually have a funny story to tell you about this piece. When my client dropped off this piece that has been in the family for a very long time, she explained that after putting it on sale on Facebook Marketplace, a stranger reached out to her and asked, "Do you know what you have there? Either you should be selling it for a lot more or you should refinish this piece and keep it." Well, a few months ago, I had seen a mid-century modern piece for sale, saw that it had just been posted. I reached out to the person, I asked when I could pick it up. Within seconds, I saw that the piece status had changed to sold, which happens quite often. Well, fast forward 2 months later, as I'm working on the dresser here, I want to reach out to my client to ask her a couple of questions about the finish. And what do I see? Her profile pops up and I see that her and I communicated at some point. I attempted to purchase this dresser, like I said, a couple months ago. And now it's here. I guess it was just meant to be. I just thought it was kind of funny. Some of the parts on this dresser are made with solid wood, such as the base and the legs, but the rest of it has a very thin layer of wood called veneer. So I have to be extremely careful when I sand this, because the last thing I want to do is sand through the veneer and into the wood that's underneath. The goal is to keep this dresser as natural as possible, so I'm not gonna stain it. Obviously, if there's an area there that looks lighter than the rest, it's just gonna be an eyesore. There are some very small areas where the veneer it's very thin and some corners that have a little bit of damage. I'm gonna show you how to fix those in a minute. Right now, I'm sanding with a 120. After I'm done with that, I'm gonna move to the 220 grit and finally a 320. If you ever attempt to achieve a bare wood finish here, my recommendation is don't push your sander into the wood. Just let the sander do its work. I'm not sure if you can tell here, but the bottom and top edge of the drawer has a wood veneer that goes vertically and the rest of it is horizontal. Just remember to sand following the wood grain. Be careful with those edges. More importantly, I feel like the edges are the ones that are thinner or get more wear over time. That's why they go really, really thin, and it doesn't take much sanding to sand through them. I received a question regarding my surf prep sanding system. The question was, do you use the regular sanding sheets ever when sanding your piece? And the answer is yes. I just ran out and I have not placed an order. Otherwise, I would be sanding the entire piece with my surf prep. And that takes me to another thing. I have linked all of the products that I'm using today. You can check what those are under the video description. If you are a furniture refinisher, I do recommend that you invest on a surf prep, and they give me a discount code that you can use to get 10% off, so I'll be sharing that here. Finally done sanding, and it's time to clean my piece with some mineral spirits. One of the questions that I receive often by many of the viewers are, why would anybody stain this beautiful wood? One of those reasons is to have one single color on the entire piece. And in this case, I don't know if you can tell, but the frames that surround the edges on the middle front drawers are more yellow, lighter tone. They're made with different wood. Same with the base, legs, and hardwood edging. The hardwood edging look greener than the rest of the piece. Because of that, I had to tone some of that green color down, and I'm gonna show you here in a minute how I did that. Let's take a look at some of the scratches that were highlighted by the mineral spirits. Basically, what this tells me is that I need to go back and sand a little bit more with either a 220 or 320 grit. When it comes to making repairs to try to match the current finish on the dresser, since I'm gonna be keeping it bare or in its natural state, is basically you add a little bit of the stain color that matches the current wood to any of the products that you're using to make repairs, such as wood filler, plastic wood, and even your top coat. Can you see right here on the drawer corner how it looks lighter? Well, I just touch it up with a little bit of stain and wipe it off like I normally would, just lightly. Right now it looks darker than the rest of the piece, but once it dries and you add the top coat, it evens out quite nicely. Once I have let all my repairs dry overnight, I can move on to the top coating part of this furniture refinishing process. In one of my previous videos, somebody asked, why did you use an oil-based top coat over a water-based? And the short answer is durability. This top coat offers extreme protection, even more so than water-based top coats. Just a quick disclaimer here, even though the drying times in the can read 12 to 24 hours between coats, I find that if I do a very thin coat and wipe off the excess, then I can't get 3 coats in one day. So I can wait like 4 hours to 6 hours between one coat and the next. Do you guys remember those greenish areas that I talked to you about earlier? I wanted to dull some of that green by adding a little bit of stain to my top coat, mixing that really well, and then using that to top coat those specific areas. I apply a total of 3 coats just to try to make these match a little more with the rest of the dresser. Thank you so much for being here, you guys. I hope that you drool over the beautiful wood grain veneer as much as I did. What can I say? It was just another beautiful day in the shop, admiring natural wood in front of me. So don't forget to subscribe. Give me a thumbs up if you like today's content. Remember that just like there's hope for these pieces of furniture, it doesn't matter how tough things get, there's always hope for you. I will see you guys next week.